My name is Don Hasenauer. I'm the Central Regional Manager for Shun. I've been working with Shun for 4 years now. Shun is owned by Kai Corporation, and Kai is a major corporation in Tokyo, Japan. They've been there for 110 years. Next year will be their 110th year anniversary. And what they do is make sharp stuff. So over there they've been making razor blades, they make medical equipment, and hence, the segue into knives. We're a Japanese manufacturer making Japanese cutlery in Seki City, Japan, the sword-making capital of Japan. And they're all handcrafted, over 100 steps go into making each line. And in fact, on the Hero line, which is our top line at House of Knives, over 150 handcrafted steps go into making this product. The Classic line is going to be our #1 selling line, also the best-selling line at House of Knives. This is what we introduced 15 years ago, and this is what quickly took off. Every knife is going to be unique based on the artisan that did the sharpening. Then it's deburred on a leather wheel, so there's absolutely no burrs. When you get this out of your knife block or out of your case, it's going to be like a razor blade. Your next best-selling line is the Premier line. So this is going to be one step above the Classic. And the hammered look, and what that does is it's not only adding beauty, but it creates air pockets between the food and the blade to help the food come off of the blade easier. The handle is going to be pakawood, just like the Classic, except now we go with a slightly larger handle because everybody has a different preference for the handle in your hands. And the grain of the wood is going to show through a little bit more vividly to again enhance that uniqueness. Your top knife, which happens to be my favorite knife, is going to be the Hero. This is made with SG2 super steel. SG2 is basically a powdered metal that has had all the impurities removed, and that helps it become very chip resistant. Then this is also Damascus, so it's got 32 layers of stainless steel, but now with a very high nickel content, which gives it that shiny, pretty look. And again, the tushemi finish, or the hammered finish, which helps food release from the blade. The pakawood handle is now got charcoal and crimson inlaid, but they're still hand finished to the bolster and the end cap, NSF approved. We sat down and worked with professional barbecuers in the United States and said, what is the one knife you really need that you really don't think anybody's making out there? And they said, we need a phenomenal brisket knife. This is the brisket knife. This has got a pure AUS 10A high carbon Japanese steel. It's going to have a 59 to 60 Rockwell. It's going to have great edge retention, great chip resistance, and it's not going to be Damascus because the longer blade on Damascus, it's a little bit flexible. They don't like flexible. They want a very stiff blade. So it's just pure AUS 10A, nice stiff blade, but with this same pakawood handle that is in all the Classic knives. So again, the grain on the handle is going to be different from knife to knife, making it truly unique. It's going to be, again, hand sharpened on a Japanese whetstone, deburred on a Japanese leather wheel, and every knife, when they're being sharpened by these artisans, is tested on a little leather pouch that they carry here. And if it doesn't go through that leather like a knife through hot butter, then they resharpen it again. And sometimes on that Japanese whetstone that they're using, it could take 15, 20 minutes before it's perfect, but they're not going to let it get out that door until it's perfect. These are fine slicing knives so that you can slice through a tomato to the point where you can read through it so thin, but you're not going to get that through chopping. And if you've got a Wusthof knife in your block and you've got a Shun knife in your block, I use the Wusthof for if I'm breaking down a chicken because it's a tough knife, it's a little bit of a softer steel, so you're not going to chip it. And then when you're done getting all the pits out of the fruits and vegetables, all the bones out of the chicken and what have you, that's when you pick up your fine slicing knife and do your fine slicing cutting techniques. House of Knives, you can not only see the widest selection, but you can test the knives. You can feel them in your hands. The staff at House of Knives is very well educated. In fact, I just did a training and I think I learned more from them than they learned from me. So House of Knives in Canada is definitely your place to go for the widest selection and for testing the knives.